Yo, hey, I wanted to share this because I just thought this was so crazy cool. So I've been a big fan of Replit's Model Farm, but one of the things about Model Farm is it only lets you run it if you're running inside of Replit. And so if I tried to do this right now, so I've just got like a example, just using their Model Farm. So Model Farm here is like their new AI package. And so if I just tried to run this right now, uh, right? Right. So I'll get like, hey, missing an environment variable, right? So basically, the way that they've done it, which I think is very cool, is that they have this Replit identity token manager. And it basically makes it so that the way that they generate the token isn't based off of a normal API key that you like set in the environment variable. Basically looks like, hey, are you a Replit deployment or are you running inside the Replit editor? And if so, we can generate a token, but if we can't, then you can't run this. So you can't run this locally, right? And so basically what I did was I just made a fork of this that git switch, like git branch, git switch, lightning, or local dev. And so if you switch over and use this fork, then the way that it works is that it'll recognize that you're not running on Replit and it'll throw this, right? So let me just make this a little bigger, right? And it'll say like, hey, it'll recognize you're running locally and then say, okay, instead of trying to go directly to Replit, I'm going to go through Matador. And so Matador is my reverse proxy that I've made that basically takes any API and wraps it with Bitcoin payments. And so for this one is that instead of going directly to Replit for the API calls, it'll go try to hit Matador, which is currently running in Replit. And so it is able to generate Replit API keys. And so it'll say, hey, you can only use me if you pay me 1 Satoshi in Bitcoin. And so it returns this error, right? This is like, hey, it's missing an L402, pay the following Lightning invoice, and then replace the placeholder that I put in the .env file, and then you'll be able to use it. So let's pay this Lightning invoice real fast. Let me do this. Just like use Albi. Arc doesn't let me have extensions. So I like pop out, which is kind of annoying. I just thought this was so cool. So send here, pay 1 Satoshi, and then I have to get the pre-image off of this because if I have this, here we go, pre-image. And so I go into my .env, and here I just have it so that it writes into your .env, like, hey, replace me after paying the invoice. And it copies the invoice there as well. And that gives you an API token and a preimage. Save for the preimage. And so now I'll try running the code again. And again, I'm running this locally in Cursor, and I'm just doing this because like I've been writing a lot of Rust, and like you need Replit doesn't let me write Rust with Nightly the way I want to right now. But hopefully Amjad sees this and he improves the Rust Nightly within Replit. So here we go. Using L402. And then there we go. And now Model Farm is running because it's proxying through the Matador deployment on Replit, which I just thought this was super cool. So yeah, I'll keep writing the Matador deployment for this one. And if anybody at Replit wants to help me so I can do a full deployment instead of just having it as the always on REPL, then that'd be fantastic. But yeah, I don't know. So that's super cool. So you pay 1 Satoshi and you get to use Model Farm locally. So that's super fun. Okay. Thanks, guys.